the third dimension.
3D Newsbite.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolph. I have with me Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today we're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. This podcast is being recorded minutes after the release of the trailer. So, Jake, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
Whoa, that was worth the wait. And boy, did they make us wait.
Yeah, we're not really going to get into the whole, it's part of the publicity, so I get it. They had the big convention in Brazil, and it took like 30 minutes to actually get to the trailer. But let's get to the trailer. What do you think of the trailer? We see a lot of Max Lord. We don't see much of Cheetah here.
Yeah, and we see Steve Trevor. No explanations why he's back, how he's alive. And he looks great for being over 100 years old.
Yeah, so that's something they're going to have to explain really well, because I originally thought that he would be basically a Mirage, or maybe his son or grandson that just so happens to look the same, but it looks like it's actually him.
Yeah, and we found out that Kristen Wiig is playing Barbara Minerva.
Which is going to be the Cheetah, right?
Mm-hmm. So hopefully they're going to drastically change this version of Cheetah's backstory, because it's pretty sexist.
Yeah, I think the original version of Cheetah was that she was like a anthropologist or something, and then she wanted to have powers, so like that she's, I don't know, something to do with the god, and got the powers of the cheetah, and it's like I don't know. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, you're getting some of it right, but it's the version she's playing. The god was angry because she was not a chaste, pure virgin, so she was cursed with turning into a actual cheetah, not just getting the powers of a cheetah.
Ah, okay.
You know, sexist crap.
Yeah, so let's get to this movie. It's set in 1984. We have, it's a very good teaser trailer. I think it's, exactly that. It gets you excited, gets you interested, and you want more. But it doesn't really, it's a really, I think it's a great trailer. It really is. You have like all these action scenes, all these special effects scenes. They said before the trailer that they're doing everything as much as they can in real life, and only having the CG to help out, So it definitely looks more impressive because of that,
Yeah, and they've got instrumental of running through the trailer of Blue Monday by New Order, the old song that's been remixed about a zillion times, because it seems to be every DJ's favorite beat to put on a remix.
And, we do get a lot of cool scenes, like this scene where you actually get the gold suit of Wonder Woman, which I don't know anything about that. Do you know anything about that gold suit?
It's just she's had lots of different outfits. I just saw new toys. I was hoping we would see her in the infamous white suit from the comics, but which is awesome. But hey, it just looks like there's going to be a lot of action figures, and she's not wearing heels, thank God, but looks like she's wearing wedgies now.
And there's like a really amazing scene where she's lassoing between lightning bolts or something. Awesome.
Yeah.
And Maxwell Lord is a very cool character. He is like basically another version of Lex Luthor, just in case you don't know who he is. It's a very basic simplification of him. What do you think of Maxwell Lord?
Oh, I love the character in Justice League International, but I had no problem when they kind of turned him dark and then Wonder Woman killed him. I had no problem with that, because at that point it was like the character had run its course. Now I have no idea if he's back or not, because comics, because some of the stuff I kind of gave up on reading, but his potential's great. And Pedro Pascal's a great actor, so...
A very much an evil businessman kind of thing, but a lot more character than Lex. A very different character,
And I noticed they kind of gave him a Trump hairdo.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not on the nose,
Yeah.
but he's become kind of the trope now for the evil American businessman.
So yeah, Wonder Woman 2014, not 2014, 1984, looks great. It's kind of weird that it's 1984, but I mean they said they have a reason for it. You know, they want to bring it up, and I don't. You know, I'm fine with it being a set in the 80s. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, they went from World War One to the 1980s. That's kind of a big jump. I mean, I have no idea if they're ever going to revisit any of the time between uh, those. But hey, but I, but with the popularity of Stranger Things, I don't blame them for making an 80s movie set in a mall.
Yeah, it's interesting because, 80s nostalgia is basically like tapping out, and 90s nostalgia is really starting to get in there. Stranger Things basically being the last real 80s thing that's really been popular, but I think it's popular because it's a fun show, not because it's in the 80s per se.
Well, I don't know. I think that's part of it. Cause first, it exploded. Kids in the '80s, but the sequel kind of fizzled on the vine. It just seems like millennials and younger seem to be. Seems like anybody who didn't live through the '80s is in love with the '80s.
So I'm cool with this. I definitely think
Yeah.
it looks great. I'm glad they have the same director, and then Gal Gadot is producing this too, so she was part of this. So everything is here to look like a great DC movie. It's not confirmed to be in 3D, but it's pretty safe it's going to be in 3D. I mean, I'll be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah, I would be too.
This is probably Warner Brothers' biggest movie of 2020. And considering that their DC movies have been really, kind of all over the place in quality, everyone. I mean, there's a huge, like maybe vast majority of people love Wonder Woman. There's still some people that don't think it's all that great, but I'm definitely one of those people that love that movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10 when I reviewed it. Jake, what would you have given it?
Oh, I would have given it a 9 as well.
So we're both, big fans of Wonder Woman, and this should be great, and it should be a lot of fun. So it's interesting, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about Wonder Woman. We're gonna see Cheetah eventually, and that's gonna be interesting to see how that works.
Mhm.
That's the big question mark.
Yeah, this is a really good teaser trailer. Uh, it gives you enough to fuel your imagination and leaves you wanting more and can't wait, which is exactly what a teaser's supposed to do.
So that's my only fear right now is Cheetah is gonna look weird, but it might be one of those things you just get used to it.
Yeah, well, it can't be. Well, the original Cheetah only looked interesting because she was basically a woman wearing a cheetah skin. Only reason it looked interesting is because H.G. Peters was drawing it, and he could make any female figure look great. He was like just such a great comic artist.
I always found it weird that Cheetah was like a main villain to Wonder Woman, because it's like you would think Wonder Woman would just be basically super overpowered, like not have any, and somehow Cheetah is always the one that really kind of keeps her from being god level, you know?
Well, some of the versions of Cheetah had Amazonian strength.
Yeah, that she basically is equal to the strength level of, I'm hoping that Cheetah doesn't look like cats. I'm just gonna say that, because the cat looks terrible. It looks atrociously bad.
Uh, I know. I can't wait. Well, I'm going to wait because I'm going to review Spies in Disguise before I go see Cats.
So that's my fear, that Cheetah would look like something out of Cats, and it's gonna look ridiculous and really throw
Oh
off.
God, I hope Kristen Wiig in her cheetah outfit sings "Memories." I would pay good money to see that.
Now, it would have been even funnier if they did feel that confident and Cheetah looks amazing and it basically puts cats out of shame, that would have been funny to see that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Maybe they just don't want people to think about cats and Wonder Woman. That's why they're going to show that to the actual trailer, But it looks great. Definitely excited. Definitely interested. I think Gal Gadot is a great Wonder Woman, and everything about this is quality. And I don't really care how it connects or doesn't connect with the DC extended universe. It is what it is, and I don't know how or why or if they're going to connect it to Birds of Prey or the Batman.
They can just hook, if they've got to have a universe, they can just hook them up like they did in the 60s. Just kind of fast and loose and not this deep continuity that actually hurt some of Marvel's storytelling abilities moving on later. But that's two different mediums, but I do hope they do get their universe sorted, but the last several DC extended universe movies have knocked it out of the park, so I don't see any reason why this one won't, especially since they had issues and went back and fixed them and spent the time. I mean, I'm sort of kind of getting tired of all these delays, and it kind of just kills the momentum. If you wait too long, is it worth it? But that's because I'm old, and when you're old you get impatient sometimes.
All right, so that's going to be it for Wonder Woman talk for 2020. Wait for 2020 for more Wonder Woman, and that's it for us on Wonder Woman 1984. Thank you for listening. Okay, before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, David and Mr. Bengal5, for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. You can find us, 3D or 2D.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and so much more. Just look for 3D or 2D. You can also send us your listener mail. Our email address is email3dortwo d@gmail.com. Links are in the description. Thank you for listening and or watching. Bye!
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 Goodbye.
Bye, everyone!